4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglautsch for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. I have some exciting news today. Woo! I figured out that RSS feed thing. I can't show it to you because, I've got to do this presentation. But not only can you go to WDMA.org, can you remember that? WDMA.org. And on the home page, you scroll down just a little bit after the recent articles on the left side, the right side. On the right side, not only can you see the recent articles, but you can also get the RSS feed of my Pocket. My Pocket, what I'm doing is I'm taking articles that I'm interested in, and I'm putting them up in Pocket, which is getpocket.com if you're on your PC, or Pocket as an app. And then, if I talk about them, I tag them 10 at 10, and they pop up in the RSS feed on WDMA.org. Not only that, but if you're interested in what I'm interested in, which I hope you are because here you are, you can scroll down a little bit, and there's actually a link that says something like John's RSS feed. If you click that link, you can subscribe to my RSS feed. So I can curate, without any extra work on my part or your part, I can be sending you every day a little list of interesting articles that I've sifted through the garbage, which there is much garbage. So if you're interested in that, go over to WDMA.org. Consider joining. Joining WDMA.org does not get you a big social network or vendors jumping on you or anything really that way. It funds education about direct marketing. So if you like what I'm doing, join WDMA, and we'll do a meetup in your area. We'll talk about direct marketing, and you'll make more money. I guarantee you. You start working with WDMA, you'll make more money. Okay? That sounds fair. All right, and on that note, let's go on. We're going to talk today about deep learning. Okay? And I went and looked around, and what is deep learning? Here we go. What deep learning in marketing looks like. They had these 3 circles. I like this. This is from Forbes. I like this too. That's a cool little, it's of course totally made up, like most of the stuff about deep learning. I thought it was really appropriate that I got this big unable to connect right in the middle of the Forbes article. That's from the ad network, of course. It doesn't have anything to do with the content. Okay, and what they're telling me is, whoops, down here, this is the best part. Here we go. Deep learning, see, I always go backwards. I'm not mirrored here. Here we go. Deep learning helps marketers identify the right customers. And what they mean by that is guess. Deep learning helps you guess who's going to buy next, which is a really tricky thing. It's a very, very, very tricky thing. And I believe that it's fundamentally impossible. Not because machines aren't smarter than humans, which is true, they're not, or because we don't have lots of data. We do. But it's because fundamentally we don't know what we're going to do next. Most of us. Yes, I'm going to go to the store. I need to buy some chain bar oil. Okay, that's right. I'll get around to it one of these days. I didn't go yesterday. I meant to. I went to go, all week I've been meaning to. Have I gone? No. And if the AI people are watching this, you'll send me a note for chain bar oil. Okay, so it's a challenge to identify the right customer, if by the right customer you mean someone who's going to buy next. Because no matter how much data you have, it's in the past, and the past is the past, and next is the future. And tomorrow will be like yesterday, except if it isn't. Such wisdom here. Okay, so AI... Deep learning. Oh, I looked up I went to deeplearning.org or something, and I said, well, what is deep learning anyway? And it said, we're going to get back to the real mission of AI. That's what deep learning is. Deep learning is a new term for AI, which AI is artificial intelligence, which goes along with predictive modeling and big data analytics, and uh, all kinds of stuff. I've been in this for 40 years almost, and computers. We've been promised that computers are going to solve all our problems, and you know what? They don't. Okay, now this is a good one over here. Deep learning enables marketers to offer timely, compelling deals. One of the things that I think is really the most misguided in this whole AI, uh, deep learning, predictive analytics area is that we can time the deal, and if we time the deal, then it's compelling. First problem is it's hard to time the deal because you don't know what's going on. Blockbuster told me 5 out of the top 10 reasons why people went to Blockbuster. This is back in the day, but 5 out of the top 10 were weather related. They couldn't buy weather. If they said if we could buy hurricanes, man, we would rent a lot more stuff. After that, it was like in-laws coming over, or relatives or friends or whatever. It was almost all the top 10 reasons why people would go there were unrelated to any marketing that Blockbuster did. And there should be something to learn there, because they asked me to do a modeling project and help them launch a catalog because they had all this data. It had to work. They'd been reading too many of these Forbes articles, and guess what? I declined 6-figure consulting fees in order just to prove my point, which was that it wasn't going to work. And I was actually invited back there for the day they pulled the plug after they lost $5 million, which isn't that big a deal to them, I'm sure. But they took me to lunch, which I thought was funny. And it was Kerry Valentine, who was the number 2 guy there. And he said, "You're the weirdest consultant I've ever met. If you ever have an idea that just needs money, you call me." Because he said, "I've never seen a consultant who'd walk away from 6 figures just because he didn't believe in it." Well, okay, anyway, it was hopeless. Deep learning helps marketers analyze marketing trends. I think that's probably true. Okay? If that's where you stay with it, fine. But the problem is it's hard to stay there. Because what happens? What happens is the more data you have and the more powerful your computer, the more spurious correlations you get. And I've talked about this goofy site before. I think I stuck it in Pocket. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, we'll stick it in Pocket. Ding, there it goes, and we'll make it 10 at 10 and I got it saved. So there you go. Now it'll be at wdma.org. Got that? This is so high tech. I did this all myself, by myself, with YouTube videos, instructional videos. Anyway, you can see this beautiful correlation over almost 10 years of revenue generated by arcades in the U.S. correlated with lawyers in Wyoming. The number of lawyers went up a little bit over those 10 years, and then revenue generated by arcades. Now, when I do models, here's a piece of a model. We usually start with something simple like recency. I don't know if you can read this, but that says recency. And then down here is, and this is the middle recency, just for fun. And it had sectional lines. That's a product category, okay? If you bought a lot of them, you were great. If you didn't buy a lot of them, then good. If you were a high-income SCF, okay, you were better. We do better in high-income areas. No big magic here, right? And just the total households, which is density. We did actually better in lower or middle density, not high, okay? But there were other weird stuff over here, like this one here. And I got to tell you, here, if you were in an area with fewer boats and vans as a household unit, we did better, okay? It's not magic. It's nothing magic about that. It makes a lot of sense. Why? Because this is furniture. We're selling furniture that wouldn't fit in a boat or a van. So anyway, it's not, like I said, it's not rocket science. It's actually quite ordinary. And that's what AI is about. Except that if you let that machine run wild, if you build those charts, I built thousands of them, thousands and thousands. Okay, if you let the machine tell you just the correlations, you'll get spurious correlations. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about how deep learning generates spurious correlations. I guarantee it. That's why I beat everybody. I beat all the highly automated modelers because they throw in stupid things that they backtest instead of learning out in the mail. Oh, there's my alarm. We'll cover a little bit more next time because I only got through the very beginning of my talk. I'm John Miglautsch for the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing.